Hey guys, Mr. Everything here, back with another movie review video, and in today's video, we're going to be reviewing Sicario, Day of the Soldado, or Sicario 2 Soldado. I don't really know, this thing has had so many title changes, but the official title standing right now is Sicario, Day of the Soldado. But just two things right off the back, just real quick. So how I do my reviews, this screen you're looking at right now, which is the thumbnail for the video, don't worry, you're not going to be looking at the screen the whole video. I'm going to add clips and images from the film, just to add entertainment. The reason I do that is, it cuts down time on editing. I don't have to add constant, images and clips. I could just keep it on the screen for the majority and just add the clips and images when I want to. And also how I do my reviews, I'll talk about the story, the cast, give some of my positives, some of my negatives, and then give my score. So starting off with the story, this basically continues after the first one. They're going after the cartels, just no rules. They're just playing dirty, doing what they have to do like they did in the first one. And basically the cartels are just trafficking terrorists across the border. And, this stars, Josh Brolin, your boy Josh Brolin. This dude is on fire. He was Thanos in Infinity War, Cable in Deadpool 2, and now he's back in Sicario 2, which is great. You got Benicio del Toro, Isabella Monier. You probably know her from Transformers 5, sadly. That movie's really bad, but hey, she's really good in here, and this movie's really good. And then Catherine Keener, you know her from Get Out. Sadly, this film isn't directed by Denis Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve directed the first one. He is one of my favorite directors of this time. He directed the first Sicario, Prisoners, Enemy. He's just such a talented director. And also Emily Blunt isn't back. I don't mind Emily Blunt not being back, because when you watch the first Sicario, which I recommend you guys watch that before you watch this, I wouldn't say you have to watch it, but just watch it because it's a good movie. And you'll get some backstory behind some of the characters. But yeah, she's not in this one, but when you watch the first Sicario, her story wraps up pretty well, so I sort of get why they didn't bring her back. But this movie is directed by Stefano Salama, and I'm not super familiar with him, but I think he did a great job. I'm gonna get to it later on, but hey, at least one person did return out of like all the behind the scenes, and that is Taylor Sheridan. He wrote the screenplay for the first Sicario, and he came back to write the screenplay for this. Along with Denis Villeneuve, Denis is one of my favorite directors. This is one of my favorite screenwriters. This dude is so talented. I recommend you guys check out all of his films. Obviously, check out the first Sicario. Check out this Sicario too. He wrote both of those. He also wrote Hell or High Water and Wind River. And Wind River was his directorial debut. So he directed Wind River and wrote that. Just all three of those films, Sicario, Wind River, and Hell or High Water, that is just the perfect triple feature trilogy. Just super gritty, heart-wrenching, just amazing, well-told stories. I love those films. All three of them are amazing, all written by him. One of them happened to be directed by him, which is Wind River. That's his directorial debut. So Taylor Sheridan is back. So at least he's back, so you get to have some of his touches on the film. And you definitely see it in the film. Just a great character development and a story. But I guess jumping into the positives, the first positive would be the action. And now this isn't where you think it's going to go. This action is actually very hard to watch. And you guys are going to see it when you see the film. The action in this film isn't your funny, like have fun, eat popcorn and candy and jump out of your seat. The action in this film is actually very hard to watch. It's very violent. It's very brutal and realistic. And I guess going into my next positive, like the message of the film sort of is like a message of terrorism and like how terrorists affects families and children. Specifically, the main little lead girl played by Isabella Moner. But also we see throughout the film, like right at the beginning of the film, I'm not going to spoil anything because I want you guys to watch it for yourself. But like within the first 15 minutes, it's a scene, families in a grocery store, because obviously families and kids shop at grocery stores. Like I almost stutter over my voice there because like it's just I'm like thinking about it right now. Just I'm not gonna spoil anything. All I'm gonna say is it's a scene at the beginning of the film with families in a grocery store. Throughout the whole film, every action scene is like that, heart wrenching, pulls your heart out. You're not having fun with it, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's just so heart wrenching. But it's done in such a very great way. And then also Benicio and Brolin, obviously they're great. And what I love about their characters, they're not necessarily antagonists or protagonists. They just do what they had to do to get things done. You've seen that in the first Sicario, and that's sort of the story in the first Sicario. Emily Blunt is trying to do things by the books, do it, legally. Josh Brolin and Benicio, their whole crew is just doing things illegally, doing what they have to do to get things done. They'll kill people. They'll kill people's families. And they do the same thing in this film. They're super brutal. They don't give two F's. I believe Brolin actually says that in the film once. Like, they just don't care. They'll do what they have to do to get the job done. And speaking of more actors, Isabella Monier, like I said, you probably know her from that crappy Transformers The Last Night. She's better in this movie, and she's really good. I really like her character. She's strong. She's smart. She's not an idiot. You know, she's super smart. She knows what's going on, which is pretty cool. And I'm not going to say anything more because, yet again, I'll get into spoilers. And also, speaking of, I talked about the story earlier. I think the story is better than the first one. I think it's more complex and more depth. And like I said, dealing with the whole terrorist thing, whereas the first Sicario, you basically just follow Emily Blunt's character. She's trying to do things right. Cartel. That's pretty much the first movie, and it's not necessarily a negative to have such a simple story. I'm just saying, I think the story in this film is more complex and better, which I think works towards its advantage. And also, obviously, the score in here is amazing. The Sicario score, near the end of the film, you hear that original Sicario score, just that sound is so just, I wouldn't say it's relaxing, but you guys know, it's like, it's that good score from the original Sicario. Obviously, that's back, which is great. And I guess jumping into my negatives, not much here. I mean, I guess towards the end of the film, it sort of gets a little bit slow. And then my only other negative would be that it's not as good as the first one. But I mean, the first one is nearly almost a perfect film. I mean, Roger Deakins was the DP. Denis Villeneuve, like I said, one of my favorite directors, directed that film. Like, that film is almost near, like, that film is so great. Like, it's such a monumental task to even, beat it. But overall, I still thought Sicario, Day of the Soldado was still a very great entry in this franchise. But anyway, I'm going to give Sicario, Day of the Soldado, a B+. So yeah, I'm going to give it a B+. A lot of critics aren't super hot on this. They're not necessarily bashing it, but I think I liked it more than most critics, and I don't think it's better than the first one. I would give the first one probably an A+, A-. Like I said, I think it's almost a perfect film. But yeah, this one's B+. But if you guys see Sicario, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to check out all my other Sicario videos, movie review videos, and have a great rest of your day. All right, bye, guys.